Okay, very exciting. This is the first time that we've had a guest in studio, in our new studio. Chloe Maddren, please, thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's so beautiful and pink in here.
Yes.
Oh, isn't it the most luscious, gorgeous set?
It's
It's actually our living room. But
Yeah, it's our living room.
Of
you've ever
course.
seen. Podcast Award, never forget.
Wow. Very incredible.
So, yeah, welcome to our home.
Thank you.
For everyone who doesn't know Chloe, she is a comedian, she's a podcaster, she is a content creator, and Pip and I actually found you through your content creating. We saw you go viral for something that I think a lot of people would love to have thought of and done.
Yeah.
So you have experienced for a long time a lot of sexual harassment
Yeah.
in your DMs.
Yeah.
I think if anyone is a public figure, especially if you're a woman online, it's kind of guaranteed.
Yeah.
We get it. It's like you will get
I bet.
sexual harassment and trolling,
Yes.
unsolicited dick pics, et cetera, et cetera. But you did something that caused a lot of backlash with your trolling.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
Well, okay, so yeah, it was a lot. I was getting pretty sick of it. And normally my move would be, the go-to, just block them, ignore them, try not to let it get to you, but it really does.
What kind of stuff were you getting?
Horrific things from just the usual, talking about my body in every single way in an objectification kind of manner, solicitation, which is all, I think that's fine. But when it gets into more, threats of essay
Wow.
sort of stuff. I also had just filmed my first comedy hour. And so I figured a lot of people had messaged asking for an OnlyFans link. And so I made one and I put my comedy special on it, which is completely well and within the terms and conditions of OnlyFans. And I sent that link to every single person. I went through my blocked list and made sure that they had sent me something horrific, sent them that link,
Oh my God.
and they all subscribed. It was awesome.
How many people did you send to, you reckon?
Hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds. And once it was there, people started, chatting on Reddit and being like, look at this, we've got a link.
yeah.
So
Wow.
And so they all had to pay, obviously, for anyone who doesn't know how OnlyFans work, it's like a paywall to get like special content, usually used by sex workers.
Yes.
So for anyone that doesn't understand, they would have been like, fuck yeah, we're finally going to see you do something.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, if they asked me and when they messaged, they said, what's the kind of content I can expect? I would say hot girl stuff, which is the name of my special.
Not a lie.
Was that the name?
That's the name of my special.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Obsessed.
Which,
with
if you
that.
click on my Instagram profile, you can see everywhere. It's in my pinned posts. It's in my bio.
Yeah.
Like my comedy special, Hot Girl Stuff, is out now. I mean, do your research, boys.
Oh my God, this is just writing itself. It's so perfect.
It's not on me at that point,
So then what happened? So were you getting like some varied reactions? Were people upset? Were they like fair play? Like what was the reaction like?
Most people thought it was really funny.
That's how we found it. We came across
We
it
were
and we were like,
obsessed.
sorry, but you just never know how to deal with those DMs. Like what you said,
Yeah.
you just go to the block.
Yeah.
The odd occasion you'll call them out on your story. But to
Yeah.
make money off of it is just
Yeah.
like
It's just
so smart.
It was awesome. It was
cherry on
really,
like top.
yeah, really, really cool. I put it in my story as well, knowing that like people would sign up, but I immediately was like, it's my comedy special. So I could be like a little announcement of, oh, I did a thing. And people were like, oh my God, it's the link. But I kind of buried the lead, but it was for 1 second.
Yeah.
The next story is saying what it was. And I think, about 99, maybe 95% of people who subscribed messaged and were like, that's so funny. I don't know what I expected. You are a comedian, so fair play, well done. A little tip of the hat.
That's so good. Do you reckon they watched it as well? Like were people like, good special,
yeah,
babe?
Yeah, that's the best thing. So many people replied like on the OnlyFans being like, okay, I actually loved the special. And I'm like, yeah, listen to a woman. Yeah, I don't know.
So how much money did you make and what did you do with the money?
So I made about 10 grand.
What
Very
the
happy.
fuck? That's
Wow.
so
Very, very
good.
happy. Thank you. You know, paid for a few little things here and there. Like, definitely spoiled myself, got myself a nice dress. But I've mainly just put it towards doing a tour of America. So,
Wow.
yeah, very exciting.
Monetizing the trolls and the haters is just such an incredible move.
Thank you.
It is so good. And we were just obsessed with it. We were just so
Because as
good.
well, like there's been such a big conversation in, you know, like online and about OnlyFans and the whole thing that happened with Bella Thorne. Like, what was it 2020, a couple of years ago,
2020, yeah.
where she basically like misled. Well,
Yeah.
that was the thing where
Yeah.
she misled people and she like broke OnlyFans and like made $2 million
Yeah.
off people signing up expecting
Yeah.
to see sex work.
Yes.
And then did it. And so it was just like, yeah, interesting that, like, I feel like the conversation's obviously changed a bit now because everyone was so positive about yours. But then there was still people in the comments being like, you misled me, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, absolutely. Look, I didn't feel bad for misleading anyone who sent me sexual harassment because, shut up,
Yeah.
dude. I didn't want to get anyone, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't actually want to be attacking just random people or anything.
Yeah.
But some people did feel misled, so much so that some rando claiming to be anonymous. You guys remember Anonymous? Guy Fawkes? mask?
yeah.
He made like an expose on YouTube about it and was like, scam artist Chloe Maddren.
So you're getting called like a scam artist.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like, any publicity is good publicity.
what I
Keep spinning it,
thought.
babe. Let's
That's
keep
what I
going.
thought.
Next comedy special is called Scam Artist.
Maybe that's good.
That's
That's
good.
smart. Good
Write
for the
that down.
SEO.
Yeah.
I'll write it down. I'll write it down. Well, he messaged me as well and was like, would love to hear your side of the story. And I'm like, yeah, sure, babe. Sent him a bunch of screenshots and was like basically proving that I wasn't misleading anyone. I wasn't saying, here are nudes.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
here is porn. I was like, no, very clear. And he was like, okay, well, it seems like you might be innocent.
Oh my God, these YouTube essay bros trying to get dirt on you. He's like, care to comment?
Like
I
acting like the
know.
police.
Yeah,
Who
what
made
the
you the
fuck?
boss of everything?
Investigative journalism on YouTube.
I'm going to let
Shut
you go on this
up.
one.
It was so funny.
I'll let you go.
He's got like 11 followers on Instagram and he's like got a post of me and I'm like, I mean, thanks,
Oh
babe.
my God. Well, I still
Yeah.
stand by it. Any publicity is good publicity.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. But also, I mean, like we were saying earlier, OnlyFans was made initially like a Patreon just for subscriber content, exclusive content. So it's perfectly fine.
It's totally fine.
But it was because my special was up on my Patreon as well, and it was $5 more on the OnlyFans because I wanted to put a perv tax on.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
fair.
for the clientele.
Yeah.
Who were trying to get to it.
Yeah.
Well, you actually used to do OnlyFans and you were doing like sex work on there, right?
Yes, many years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
many, like 3, 4. I guess it's not that long, but you know, we live many lives. I was, and so that's probably definitely why it's part of any conversation around me with online stuff, getting this audience, because I stupidly let that cat out of the bag, I think, like on some viral YouTube thing that I did. So since then, a lot of people have been like, oh, where's her old OnlyFans? Oh, she should have an OnlyFans. Oh, she used to have one. Let's find it. It was all deleted, but someone did find it. Someone did find
Really?
it. Someone did find it and put it on a website.
So it's like leaked all your old
content.
content.
Only 2 of them. Only 2 little things. They're short. Don't go look for them. But I will say I was younger and I do look all right. So I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Also, it was on The Fappening, and that is the same website as Jennifer Lawrence. So,
Wow.
I mean, I felt like a star.
You're in esteemed company.
I had a few panic attacks, but
roller.
afterwards I felt like a star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, actually, this is kind of cute
Like,
for me.
wow, she's made it.
Yeah. But still, wow, what a horrible thing to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
is
sad.
that kind of why you maybe quit OnlyFans, or like tell us about that and the whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, no, I quit because I got into a beautiful, loving relationship. Yeah, we're monogamous, and I do have a limited amount of sexual energy, you know, and I want to put that into my relationship. I think I did it when I had no audience as well, and it's a little different having basically, because I was in comedy, it was pretty much random open micers in comedy scenes across the country and people who may have seen me at a show or 2 or something, but it was just kind of mainly people I knew for the most part. And it would be, I think, very different doing it now or as I grew. And it's something I've kind of gotten to regret a little.
Your sex work?
Yeah, or the OnlyFans side of it.
Okay.
More so because I think so many people just like feel this ownership over my body that I didn't really want them to have. And it's probably something that I will no longer feel in many years because I'm like a little traumatized by the leaking of it, the sexual harassment of it all. It's just been it's been a fucking whirlwind since getting a bit of attention online, you know?
There is like an ongoing conversation, I think, with OnlyFans, and we've, like I said, covered it quite a bit on the hookup because a lot of young people see it as this glamorized platform where you're kind of like guaranteed to make money. And so many people we've spoken to who are on OnlyFans and making that money in the top 1% or whatever, they're like have huge social media followings.
Totally.
And a lot of it has to do with like they work really hard.
Yeah.
They, talk about things getting like leaked all the time or boundaries and consent. And the fact that it doesn't, the picture that's portrayed in the media isn't actually the reality of what it's like to use OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Is that, something now in hindsight, because you were quite younger when you did it, like you reflect on or like, like your regrets around it?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think if I wasn't pursuing a career in the public eye, it would probably be different because I don't feel any shame towards doing it. I don't obviously shame anyone else doing any sex work. I think it is so freaking cool, so important. I also, we live in a world where we have free streaming porn at the touch of our finger. It's so easy to get. So I love to see the girls getting paid. Absolutely love that. But for me personally, I think that it was just something I wish I'd thought a little bit more about or been a little safer. But then again, it's also like, I'm regretting doing something because someone else broke my boundaries and trust, by leaking it.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. It's a bit annoying. But it's one of those things that I'm fully supportive of people being excited, wanting to do this. But I think you've just really got to consider long-term things, which is it's something hard for people under 25 to do when your brain is not fully developed.
Yeah.
We just did an episode about that.
Yeah.
About like age gaps and relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the whole like when you're in your early 20s and you're dating someone who's like 40.
It's so real.
And you can't really consider in that moment at that age like the power imbalance or like what,
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, and obviously with your career as like someone who has a public profile, like you're still feeling the repercussions. It's still kind of following you in those like comments of people being like, where is it? And like even the Chloe Maddren Reddit of people being like, let's find it.
Yeah.
Like all these internet detectives.
Get so many fucking Reddits shut down.
Holy shit, man. And like that's something, as you said, like a young person might not consider. That also like even just like the general potential danger of it, if you're like actually visiting clients, maybe you're taking it offline as well. Like, is that something that you did as well?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Before I did OnlyFans, actually. And I am like, oh my God, someone in the universe loves me. I survived well through doing that. I did a little IRL sex work when I was like, 21, 22 for a couple of years on and off. I just went onto sugar baby dating sites. I basically just had a whirlwind of life stuff happen, which in hindsight, I look back at it and it seems like very simple, obvious psychology. I'm like, had a sexual trauma, had, a bunch of body stuff going on. And I think that maybe part of my decision to do sex work was trying to like own my own body. Like I'm in charge of this thing and I decide when it's sick or whatever else or when it's getting fucked. And so I went on these sugar baby dating sites and other dating sites and would just meet people, got a few regulars, made some decent money. I like to think I was a pretty high-class whore. I was so lucky. I had some lovely, lovely clients. I was usually pretty smart, letting people know where I was, meeting people in public first and everything. But, it's still not that smart.
Yeah, but back then I feel like they didn't have Find My Friends on iPhone.
No.
Like, now we're just watching our friends like little Sims.
Yeah.
I would know exactly where someone is at all times.
Oh my God.
Whereas back then I feel like that
Totally.
wasn't a thing.
It was pretty silly, but super, super lucky. Just had some really lovely guys, usually a little bit older, which is really funny when now as like a civilian, not doing sex work, people are like, how old's the oldest guy you fucked? And I'm like, 65, 70. People are like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wasn't dating him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wasn't serious.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well, you kind of mentioned before about sort of like, taking ownership of your body, like realizing in hindsight there was a bit of trauma, potentially like hypersexualizing yourself in that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, off air, you were sort of talking to us a bit about like your upbringing and like how you had like a pretty tumultuous kind of like childhood with your parents and stuff. You were saying that your mum was openly bi and she really impacted the way that you viewed your own sexuality. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because I find that so fascinating.
Of course. Tumultuous childhood is very accurate, but I do want to state that like my childhood was so full of love. So I'm super, super lucky. But yeah, I've got 6 parents, went through 3 parental divorces in the whole childhood.
That is wild.
Stuff.
That is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And part of my mama's journey was leaving the church when I was like 3 and then being a witch, as you know, we all are.
Wow.
Love her.
Yeah. Witchy queen. Love it. And kind of exploring being this like ex-Baptist Christian, but knowing that she was bisexual. That's obviously a big no-no in the church. So exploring all of that, exploring herself, exploring just a lack of taboos because she'd been so controlled her whole life. And a part of that was very visual and obvious for the rest of us, you know. It was just kind of like having a bit of a nudie mum, a bit of a sex positive mum, a bit of a naked home.
I came from a non-naked home, so this makes me uncomfortable, but I love that.
I think it made some of us, my siblings and I, uncomfortable as well.
I just find it really interesting hearing like that because, I mean, often when we talk to people who have like a strict upbringing, like it's like the parents are always like really like suffocating in terms of like their sexuality and stuff. And to hear like your mum was like so open about it and how that affected you, I was like, whoa, that's like the opposite experience to what I normally hear.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I feel really lucky. I, was super, super, super smart about wasn't a straight A student except for sex ed. I was like, hand in the air. I know what that is. Like, you're 10. Why?
You're like, why do they know? Why does she know about fisting? That's crazy.
It's actually not this. It's this. You want to tape it in?
That's so funny.
Yeah, I feel really lucky because it wasn't like a shameful thing in my household, but it is it's unusual to grow up with such openness. And I think it probably isn't, a direct correlation with my mum and my whole parental thing, but I was super, super sexual. Started, exploring myself at like 7. I remember my mum walking into the bathroom because it's a 7-year-old kid thinking that's still okay to do, saw me with the shower head and was like, no, I guess we've moved past that point in our relationship. And I'm like, yeah, knock please, babe.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. So I was always very sexual, but I don't think it was anything sinister. I think it was just
you were exploring.
You were just exploring.
Yeah, I'm a horny little girl.
So normal.
And also I feel like this, like the narrative with young girls, like figuring that out, it's very like, oh, hush, hush, taboo, let's not talk about it. But with boys, it's like you talk to any boy parent and they're like, oh yeah, they were just trying to jack off when they were like 6.
Totally.
Like they're like just touching themselves because they know it feels good.
Yeah, totally.
And no one talks about like the like the female experience of that.
But I don't know if you guys have ever babysat. Kids, doesn't freaking matter what gender, because I mean, let's face it, they're all blobs until puberty. But the lot of them, they're rubbing on couches.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing weird shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's disgusting.
They're curious. They don't understand.
Exactly.
It feels good.
It feels awesome.
So what about your mum's like queerness and how that helped you kind of navigate yours?
Yeah, I mean, I think she was openly bi and that was cool. I think it just made me feel safe. I did have, at my dad's house, they were still a little religious for a while. They're not anymore. But I, when I was like, 14, 15, in love with my first girlfriend, told my mum I was just getting ready in her mirror and I was like, Mum, I'm bi. And she was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, it was like a really big thing for me to say. I'm coming out. And she's like, I don't care. Like, I've known you since you were a baby. You're looking everyone up and down, okay?
Wow.
All right,
Wow,
fine.
That's so funny.
I love that.
Yeah. But my sister's also bi, and like, I don't know, my brother's deal, he's married to a woman, but who knows? And like, I think that maybe just the fluidity, the openness, the support kind of helped everyone be a little bit chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
That's a whole conversation though
Yeah.
about trying to like unlearn everything that we've learned about like sexuality and gender and like who we're supposed to be with and you know.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear you just growing up in a household that like allowed you to not have that constriction of just like I don't know this the heteronormative stuff. You know?
Careful, Daily Mail will get you for saying that.
Don't edit that out.
Take that out. I'm kidding. No, it's good. Dee gets Daily Mailed for any time that she brings
Mentions
up the heteronormative behaviours in a relationship.
Oh, patriarchal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They hate it.
Gotta be careful.
It's crazy.
Okay, so Chloe, we love to play games with our guests. As you can see, we've got this little Chatterbox.
It's so cute.
We'd love for you to play it. I'll hold this for you, Dee.
Yep. So you just have to pick one of these pictures.
Okay, obviously going to go with butt because everyone's got one.
Oh, love.
Wow.
BUTT. Colour.
Orange.
ORANGE.
Blue.
Okay. Oh, there's two blues. We'll go dark blue.
We'll go dark blue.
What is the most rogue place you've ever had sex?
On stage.
Like mid
performance.
performance.
She was actually doing a really alternative, theatre thing.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm sure there's theatre out there where that 100% would happen.
Oh, definitely.
for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
probably
telling
here in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
Probably just around the corner at
Almost
MCA.
certainly.
VCA, is it VCA? VCA, sorry.
It's like the Box or something in New York. I'm sure they do something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling my boyfriend, no, babe, I don't do sex work anymore. It's art. It's art, babe.
It's art. Okay, so tell us about it. What happened on stage?
There was no show on. There was a bar in Brisbane where I used to play music, and God, well, sue me. I had a thing for the bartender. It's happened. It's happened to all of us.
We've all been there,
Who
darling.
amongst us?
You know, whatever.
They're pouring you drinks.
They're pouring you drinks. And
What's not to love?
You do get them for
So you were
free if
performing
you're
on
making
stage, and he was you guys were making eyes.
Of course, I'm
during the
singing
performance.
jazz. I'm like, come on.
Oh,
Who's not
I
barred
got
up?
Ella Fitzgerald. Let's go.
It was good. It was good. It was fun. You know, built a little tension for a few gigs, and then it was on. It was so on. It was awesome. I was just like lingering, you know, sitting at the bar reading afterwards, just waiting for him to call.
Oh, wait, what were you reading? Paperback?
Oh God,
Like a penguin book?
Like
penguin classic.
some like Marcus Aurelius bullshit or something awful
So
because he
mysterious.
was 12 years older than me. So you know, I
Hot.
So mysterious.
Yeah.
I had to impress him with my big brain. Oh, so mortifying. But it was on because, I mean, I guess I was the last one there. If you wait long enough, you can kiss anyone.
So true.
No, it is
It's
true.
so
It's just
true.
like, are they hot or are they
Or
the
like
only
when
one at the bar?
There's
Pretty
multiple
much.
people waiting, and you're like, I'm gonna wait this out.
Yeah,
like,
especially-
I will be the last one standing.
You reading your book?
If it's with a man, like, it is that easy. Don't come at me. Yeah, so, you know, one thing led to another. We start making out against the walls. I should say, he did live above the bar, so there was a bed conveniently right there. But I don't know, it happened on the stage, and it felt kismet for me as a star, as a rising star.
Is
Curtains
incredible.
down.
Yeah, I want to know like lights, spotlight.
Spotlight, music.
I think we kept it pretty dark. No music. Oh, maybe actually he would have definitely kept the music on.
Yeah.
He's
on the
such
PA. He's setting it up.
fully. I do remember that even once we finished, we slept on the stage.
Wow.
That's actually the weirdest part of this story.
Sleepover. Again, he lived upstairs.
Which
It's like-
also,
Wow.
sorry, why does every seedy bartender live upstairs?
No, I
Like,
know.
It's because it's their hunting ground.
Yeah.
No,
It's handy.
It's just quick.
I
you
had
know?
I had a moment like that with a bartender once, and he was like telling me about a book that he was reading, and he was like, "Let me just go upstairs to my room and get it." Went upstairs and brought me back down the book. I was like, as soon as I knew he lived up, I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's
the free
smart,
drinks weren't
that's
enough.
smart.
I was like,
Unfortunately,
I gotta
that
go.
would work for me. I'd be like, I'm in my little like rom-com era moment.
Okay, that's not a rom-com.
I'm sure there's a rom-com.
That's not a rom-com. Wait, that's a porno.
I'm thinking
fucking
of
rom-com.
You're getting confused.
Yeah,
confused,
okay.
If you laugh at the porno, it's a rom-com now. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, it was like, it wasn't even just a one night thing. It was like the tryst, of my early 20s, the one that really broke my heart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was just a classic 32-year-old with a 20-year-old. That's just how it happens, I think, a lot of the time. But funnily enough, what is, I think, very romantic is that while I was gigging at that place doing music, my now boyfriend on the other nights of the week was running a comedy show downstairs, and we're like ships in the night, You
never met?
We never met, but we were right there. We have so many of these little like invisible string moments. And I'm like,
I was feeling that for a second.
Dee's gonna
I'm not
cry.
even a Swiftie, and I was like, it's an invisible string.
He was worth it.
Yeah.
The hot
was
bartender was worth it.
Exactly. And it's,
God.
it's one of those things you do learn from when you're young and dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
do it.
Wonder where he is right now. Still living above the bar, potentially?
Canada, probably. He was kicked out of the country. Yeah, he was Canadian. I should have
Yeah.
said that. It adds
That
to the
actually
allure.
does a
At
lot.
least you
Yeah, a
can't
lot of
hook up with
context
your
on that.
ex.
Yeah.
You physically just can't.
Let's do it again.
Right,
Let's
yeah,
do another
let's do
one. I
one
love
more.
that. Let me hold this for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
can I do it?
Yeah, you do
I
it.
want to do it.
Yes.
Be my mic stand. Thank you so much. All right, Chloe, pick a picture.
I'm gonna say the cum emoji.
Because everyone comes.
Yes, because hopefully.
C-U-M, I hope they do.
Red,
R-E-D.
yellow.
Let's go. What is the most weird experience that you've had on OnlyFans?
Speaking of cum.
Oh, my God.
Okay. So OnlyFans has a feature where you can request custom, videos. It kind of encourages the subscribers to interact more, which they love, obviously. So people would send videos back a lot of the time. One day, this guy sent me a video of him coming, but it was in the shower, and I could see the reflection on the shower door, and I could see him shaking a bottle of shampoo.
Oh, my God. That is...
Was it
so dumb.
3 in 1?
Very good.
Probably.
Yeah.
One of the 3 is cum.
Oh.
Yeah. I could have left that, not embarrassed the man. But I was way too curious, I was like, babe, why did you do that? I can see it. I can see it shampoo. And he was like, I'd already come, but I figured you'd want to see it.
Oh,
That's
my
really
God.
sweet.
I know it was sweet.
That's really sweet, babe. He was thinking of
I
you.
know.
No, that's not sweet.
He wanted to
That
impress
is
you.
dumb. With the amount, like just the load.
It's
He's like, I'm
it's
blowing
like
a huge load. You're like,
squirting out.
why is it like sparkly?
It's
You
like
know, because how
pink.
shampoo is kind of got like a sheen.
Yeah.
He's like, what is that, unicorn cum? I would be like, what is that? That's confusing.
That would actually maybe entice me more if I thought he was magical.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
Edward Cullen?
What's this cum? Yes.
Let's play another game quickly. We have this game called Hook Up Hot Take.
Yes.
Where basically we ask all our guests to bring a hot take and we vote. We say whether it's like a hot take, like a whatever take, or a core take. Do
Yeah, we have some
yeah.
paddles up there.
Oh my God.
It's an underbaked take. If we
Underbaked
think, we think you
take.
should put it back in the oven.
yeah, like,
you know?
wow,
Yeah.
Think
Okay,
it
it's
a
not
bit
ready.
more. It's
All
not
right.
ready.
All right.
So is there something that you've been sitting on that might rattle people up? A bit of a hot take on something.
My hot take is, I think perhaps sometimes, please don't hate me, the sex positivity movement may have swung a little too far onto the other side, as the pendulum swings with most things. I'm a big fan of body neutrality, when the whole body positivity movement came out, especially as an eating disorder girly, I'm like, no, we should be neutral. We should be less obsessive, because as someone who has a thorough sexual history, and someone who is very, very much, obsessed with this show, sex podcasts, constantly learning about this because I am fascinated by it and a big supporter of openness and a lack of shaming. I do think that as someone who was empowered by all of that in my youth more still very young, but earlier days, I think that I wasn't really questioning my motives so much when I was being so sexually explorative. Like, so glad that I was able to be so sexually explorative. But when I look back at it now, I think there was so much sex, and a lot of it was for filling a hole, some sort of insecurity, trying to get some validation, especially when I look at being a bisexual woman, how many more men I've had sex with than women. I'm like, that says a lot to me. And it's not that I want to like take away from any kind of conversation around sex and positivity around it. I just feel like maybe we could be a little bit more open to questioning the motivation instead of being like, no, that's shaming. I'm like, no, I'm not shaming. I'm just saying that maybe sometimes some of us aren't always doing it for the healthiest reasons.
You know what? This is so weird because you were literally talking to me about this yesterday in the open plan office.
Yeah. A lot of the sex that I had in my youth was like some sort of trauma-based response. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like now, same as you, like on reflection, I'm like, I would have just branded it as like sex positivity. But now I'm like, oh no, I was like going through it.
Yeah.
But at the time, you're like 18 years old and you're like, you can't see that you're going through it.
Totally.
And now I'm like, oh no, that was not healthy.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I wouldn't have thought that I was a relationship girly, but being in a monogamous relationship, it's kind of helped me see that because I see so many old patterns where, you know, making friends, I'd be like, oh, well, I want them to be my friend. So this is usually when I'd fuck them. To make them like me. And then being in this relationship, one that I have like super long-term goals with, which I've never had before, I'm like, oh, I want them to be my friend. Why is this harder than normal? I don't what am I gonna like talk to them, make them some cookies or something?
You're like actually be a friend.
Crazy, yeah. And it's been so beautiful because having that security at home and having that like those boxes checked already, I've gotten to make some of the best friendships of my life. It's really nice.
That don't involve sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, whatsoever. It's really cool.
I love that for you. I think
Thank
that's
you.
such a hot take. I love it. No, I love it. Hottest take. We love.
Thanks, guys.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. That's so interesting. I feel like we could talk a whole different podcast about like fucking friends.
Well,
and friends with benefits, but that's like a whole other thing.
I mean, I guess I'll just have to have you on my podcast, which is all about friendship.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Let's do that.
Awesome.
Oh, I love that. Chloe.
This has been the best.
Oh, it's been so good. Thank you guys so much.
And I feel like this has been a long time coming and now we're finally here and it's just been so great to hang out and chat with you. So thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been awesome.
Obviously, if you're not already following Chloe, what's your handle? Give it to the
just
people.
Chloe Maddren, spelt how it sounds.
Yeah. And your
phonetic.
podcast, The Friend Request, get all
Yes.
over that wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the comedy special is still on OnlyFans?
It is still on OnlyFans, but I mean, if you're coming from here, go to Patreon. It's $5 instead of 10. So Patreon's better, but whatever you want.
I was like, don't undersell yourself.
Whatever you want, whatever you
Take
want.
that $10.
Ask for a custom and you just clip like a social clip that they could watch again.
Perfect.
You know?
I do also put all of my podcast bonus content onto both the OnlyFans and the Patreon now because there are people who've stuck around on the OnlyFans that are just like, oh, I just am happy to support you and I like the bonus content. Like, that's what I'm saying. Some of these fellas out here, you know, they're all right.
Yeah, when they're not like
When they're not
sexually
running-
harassing in your
Exactly.
DM.
They're not running the Chloe Maddren Reddit forums.
No.
They're defending their queen.
Yep. Or leaking the nudes. Who did it? Who are
did
you?
that?
I swear to
Come
God.
forward. Oh my God.
I'll be so mad.
Chloe, thank you so much again.
Thank you guys so much.